Jeff Bauer, president of Shawnee State University. And I've been asked to share a recipe with you, something that you can make for yourself, something that's good, something that's high quality, and also something that's inexpensive and simple. I can do inexpensive, I'm not sure that I can do simple. The recipe I want to share today with you is a recipe for crepes. Now right away, crepes sounds French, French sounds complicated. But I can tell you firsthand, this is not a complicated recipe. It's something that you can do for yourself. This is one of my family's favorites. On a Sunday morning when you have a little bit more time to think and to cook, you'll find that crepes is just the perfect recipe because it provides you with a great deal of flexibility and you can suit it to your taste. And with that, let's go over the ingredients for crepes. Okay, so here are the ingredients for making great crepes. You'll need 1½ cups of all-purpose flour. You'll need 1 tablespoon of sugar, a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, 2 cups of milk, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of margarine or butter melted. In addition, you can use a little bit of vanilla to flavor it up, or what I like to use is a little bit of almond extract to flavor it up a little bit more. But this is a place where you can do a little experimenting too, by adding different flavors that you think will taste good to you. I will mention one other thing. It does call for a little bit of sugar, tablespoon of sugar, and that once again is to taste. So with that, let's mix up the crepes. Okay, I've added all the ingredients to a mixing bowl with a whisk. You can use a fork. I should have mentioned something else. I'm using almond milk with this. You can use regular milk, whole milk if you like. I like the almond milk. It does give it a little bit of taste. Now what I've done is I've mixed it all up, and if we can get a close-up of this, you can see what it looks like. It's very, very watery and fluid. That's very important because once you put it in the pan, you want to spread it out evenly but thinly so you have a nice thin crepe. The next step is to get the pan ready. We're going to do that in just a minute. Okay, now we're ready to make the crepes. Important now, listen carefully. Get the skillet or the pan nice and warm before you start to move on to pouring the crepe mixture into the pan. I usually like to have it on a medium heat. Because you have butter or margarine in the mix already, you really don't need to coat it with Pam or any other non-stick, but I do. I put a little bit of Pam at least at the beginning, but once you get started, you don't have to continually spray it with some kind of a non-stick fluid. All right, you can see we're heated up here pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the pan off. I'm going to take a portion of the mixture, and I'll try to keep this on your side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm pouring it, and as I'm pouring it, I'm rotating it around so that we can get the mixture nice and thin in the pan. So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and reapply it. And really, this goes very, very quickly. Once you pour it on, it's just a matter of a minute or less before it's ready to flip because it's so thin. I like to pick it up every so often just to make sure that it moves and that it is ready to flip over. And now we're going to go ahead and flip. And you can see we flipped it over. This side is nice and ready. We're just going to take the next side until it's ready. We're going to take it off and it's ready to eat as soon as it's out of the pan. All right, we're just about ready to eat those crepes. There's a few little things I forgot to mention. When you're heating up your skillet or your pan, make sure you don't walk away and start doing your homework, because if you do, you'll probably get a visit from the Portsmouth Fire Department. So we want to avoid that if we can. Now, once we've finished all of them, this is what they look like. They're nice and flat. Some people might ask, well, why don't you just buy some tortillas at Kroger's and use those? These taste very, very different. They're much softer. They got a real nice, luxurious taste to them. And then you can fix them up any way you like. What I've done here, I just grabbed some jelly and I spread the jelly on one of the crepes. And you could wrap this up like this, set it here. Sometimes if you have a little bit of powdered sugar, that looks good too. I can tell you one thing though, very seldom do I get to this point without eating a few of them plain, because they're really, really good. Other things that you might include in there, for instance, if you have a can of cherries, you can use that as a filler. You can even go and do some pretty extraordinary, bizarre things with filling. For instance, if the night before you had some dinner that you still have left over, some taco mix or anything like that, you can pop it in there and roll it up, and it's going to taste just as good. All right, with that, I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. That is a good crepe. I hope you have some fun with this. Try it. Make sure, once again, you have a lot of time on your hands in the morning, maybe a Sunday morning, and you'll find that this recipe will become one of your favorites too.